And we're back once again, Sandra D. Robinson and Rich Trigger Bontrager, and we're getting geared up for a big, great mastermind. But
Yeah.
first, Sandra, we're doing a little bit of twists and deep diving specifically for women with this one, aren't we?
We are. Yeah. And I think it's important to address why we are specifically talking to women that are 35 and up. Know I, for one, sat back and thought, who do I run into the most that has something that is holding them back? And it's usually something that they're thinking, right? It's a thought process that's holding them in place. And when they are then free to express, like, watch out, world, because here she comes, right? There's a lot of really good stuff coming from women in this age, and they want to hear their voices heard. They want to be seen, but so many of them have been shut down and they feel a little invisible. It could be personal reasons. So I have had people that have had big transitions in life, maybe losing a parent, having the kids go off to school, their identity is shifted somehow. It could be divorce, it could be 1,000 different things, maybe a huge shift in their career. Now things are looking a lot different than they were even 5 years ago. And they're thinking, this might be the time to do it, and we're going to have the answers to the buts here today. The
Right.
but is the thoughts that are going, oh, but I shouldn't. Oh, but I can't. Oh, but what if? We're going to talk about those things here today, because I do think that if you've been on the planet for 3 decades, you have a lot to say.
Mm.
There is life experience, and it's interesting, but it's going to make it sound like it's a bigger answer to this question than maybe people would think as they're tuning in here today. And let us know if you're in the chat. Let us know where you're coming from. I think that'd be so cool to know. So
Yes.
please let us know.
And just so everyone knows,
Yeah,
this is only a teaser to prepare you for the mastermind.
yeah, we do
And the
have one
mastermind is
coming
going
up.
to give you a roadmap. We're going to give you
Yeah.
an actual roadmap to do the things we're teasing up a little bit here, right?
Yeah. Well, we're gonna do more than tease you today. We're actually here to deliver goods to you. You're going to walk away with stuff. So don't think that this, because
Yes.
it says teaser, that's all we're gonna do is talk about the classes coming up. It's not. If you can make the class, great. We'll tell you about it at the end of today. But I really just want to make sure that we can empower as many women in this demographic as we possibly can, because there's so much good that can be done. There's so much that is on their hearts to be able to speak up. And I think it's super important. And here's the bigger picture that I think a lot of people would not put together with what we're doing here today. Rich and I have talked about the human condition. Now, suddenly this becomes like a global enterprise, right? We're like, but the human condition really is affected by what we are sharing with each other. Yes, AI is there. And Rich, you talk a lot about virtual leadership and the balance of AI that you and I both bring in our work. But there is this sense that in order for us as a species to remain healthy and strong and really help some of the tragic things that we see, like the depression, the anxiety, the mental illness, and all the things that are going on, a lot of it has to do with us taking on the responsibility
Yes.
to share what goodness we know and to share the things that we know how to do better. I know if you're a woman and you're listening to this right now and you're 35 or more years on the planet, that you know things.
That no one else knows.
You know
In
things.
some unique way, it may be a common thought, but you have something specific that can add to it that nobody else can.
Yes. And that's what we're here to encourage you to do. And we'll give you some options of ways that you can do that and make it easy and not intimidating. But first of all, let's talk about some of the excuses. If we're going to call them excuses, we're going to call them obstacles, we're going to call them bad thoughts, whatever we want to call them. But do you want to bring one up there?
Yeah.
Come on.
So one of the first ones I always get, and I know you get this very common, is what if my peers laugh at me? What if I get on camera, get on mic, I'm prepared, I've done everything I should do that Trigger and Sandra tell me to do, but my peers laugh. That is a internal voice we all have.
It's
I
huge.
still have it. Sandra still has it. We all still have it.
Yeah.
So how do we address that, Sandra?
Well, I think that it's important to realize there's only like 5 fears. No, we're not here to go over the fears of humans, but the 5 major fears of life for a human being. One of them is public humiliation. Truly. And
Yes.
that's we've talked about the fear of people getting up and speaking. It's the same thing. It's that feeling of I'm going to be laughed at. I'm going to be ridiculed. And believe it or not, it's really deep rooted in us. That's a deep, sometimes a deep
Mhm.
wound. So I get why people would be concerned about it, especially if I have some ladies that have reached a level of success and then maybe took a break,
Yes.
maybe went off, did something else, had a family, took care of family, whatever it was, and now they're coming back from the break, and there's that question of, Am I as good as I was? Am I
Right.
relevant? Am I all of these things, and all of that plays into the biggest obstacle, which is that thought of, "What if they laugh at me?"
What if they laugh at me?
Mhm. The answer to that, and there's a few of those, as I said, if you have wisdom, if you've been here for if and you've survived for 3, 4, 5, even 6 decades or more, you have a lot to say. You have a lot of really good stuff to say, and the people that are gonna laugh at you are not the ones you need to reach. You know who you need to reach.
Right.
You're watching this because something in our words brought you here. You know what you need to say. You know who you need to reach. So, I just wanna encourage you with that. And when you reach this space, let me just pull up a couple notes here because I want to make sure we stay on point here today. You definitely have a purpose that is on the inside of you. That drive that we have to accomplish something really big is not usually based on an individual achievement. Okay. That drive that we have to bring better to the world involves other people. So if you keep it to yourself, you're not actually putting into the world what you're designed to do.
Well, I tell people there's that battle inside of me. I have to burp it up. I have to say it. I have to get it out of me because a passion inside me to share it drives me. That helps me overcome that thought of what if they laugh at me? No, it's
Yes.
so compelling. And there's people like that that we both have worked with. They've said, I've got to say it, but how do I say it? When should I say it? What should I do with it? So
Right.
taking that passion, I think, helps you get past that. They're going to laugh at me. No, they're
Yeah.
not. They're going to pay attention because your passion will connect to the human condition, which we just talked about.
It's so, so true. Passion will actually bring more people to trust you than being perfect. And trust me, I spent so many years in my previous career in front of the camera trying so hard to be perfect,
Right.
watching the most gorgeous people sitting next to me in the makeup room, like pulling their faces and thinking what the next surgery was going to be because they had this desire to be perfect. I know. I ran into a woman years ago, and the makeup artist said she just had a facelift. The woman was like 35 years old. I mean, it can get really neurotic. Where
Mhm.
I used to work can get really neurotic. And it's not about perfection at all. It's about really that human connection that Rich
Mhm.
talks about so much, that I talk about so much. It's about the connection to other people. So we are just there's a fabric in society that we need to strengthen. And
And
you are a huge part of that.
well, and let me just say that excuse we're talking about right now, the idea that they're going to laugh at me, one of the
Yeah.
best things you could do today is admit, I've heard the fears. I feel this. Can you identify with me through the camera lens? Talk about this. Like, I have to share this with you today, but I know some of you may laugh, giggle, but I'm okay with that because it's so important. So please listen to me. That transparency is so powerful when you admit I overcame this to give you this. People are more attracted to you now than being like, I've got it all
Yes.
put together.
I just watched a training on LinkedIn today, and we're streaming live on LinkedIn. It's one of the platforms. I just watched a training on it this morning, and that was one of the biggest tips that she gave. And I was like, yay, yay that she's actually saying this. And she said part of being authentic and why people, love to hear certain people speak and get on podcasts and
Right.
guest on podcasts and do videos and stuff in LinkedIn, for example, is that they will say, hey, I've accomplished this, or I learned this, but this is what it took to get there. So
So,
you're actually really, maybe a little bit vulnerable, but you're being transparent. And hey, it isn't all, you know,
yo,
the success reel. There's stuff it takes in order to get there. And so if it's a fear that you have to overcome as you get in front of the camera and to say it is this important, really, really
yes.
helps people to connect with you. And it's like magic. And it'll get so much easier from then on, I promise.
So
So
the
there's two
second
types of
one,
people. There's two types of people in the world. I
yeah,
just want to finish that
yeah,
first
yeah.
point with this. There's the ones that say, wow, someone should do something. Right, when you see something that is tragic or needs some mending in our fabric of society, go, "Oh, well, somebody should do something." And then there's the people that actually do something.
Who better than you?
Yes. Who better
Again,
than you?
that's that passion that will drive you to do that. Now, the second one is there are other people more qualified than me, Sandra. I'm not the one with the degree, the wall, the education. I haven't got all the experience, so I just can't do it.
Yeah, and we hear that all the time. And that is it will stop people in their tracks for sure. And
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that we brought it up. Like it's number 2. It's the one I think I hear the second most, and that's why we're talking about it today. So if you think that other people are more qualified, you could be referring to the fact that I'm not a speaker. I've never been a speaker. I have never hosted a show, right? Rich, they look at you and me and
Right.
people like us and they go, "Oh, well, of course you can host a podcast. Of course you're comfortable doing video because like look what you." No, that wasn't always that way at all. And there are days that I just don't feel like getting on social media and doing a video because my hair is funky or whatever. Like we all are human beings. We all have that same thing. It's not about being perfect. Again, it's that passion that you have that's going to really, really attract people to you. And it's that thing inside of you that you feel the need to say. It's so, so important. And the other thing to think about too, maybe you don't, maybe you have a passion. Let's just say I'm passionate about wildlife and conservation.
Yes.
You know what I did for a while? I hosted, this is true. Not many people know this. So you know this, Rich. I hosted a radio show for conservationists, zoologists, and biologists. I was the layperson. I was the one that was supposed to not know anything about what was going on and bring their doctor speak down to the level that somebody like the normal average person could understand it. But you know what? I loved that. How many people knew I was doing it? Not all that many, to be totally honest. And it was a long time ago. But I still looked at that as a great example of I can bring knowledge that other people have more of and bring
Well,
it to the world and put that into a package that people will see.
here's one specific one in this category of I'm not qualified. I get this one a lot more and more. People think I don't have a book. If you have a book, you're allowed
Right.
to speak. You have
Yeah.
a book, you can do a streaming talk show. If you have a book, no, 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 no. You don't have to have a book as an expert in your field, in
Yep.
your lane, where you know it inside and out. That's all you need to
Yep.
launch off and start going. So we're
So
trying to
true.
encourage you to say these barriers, these questions, these self-doubts that I still don't have a book done. Sounder does. I don't.
You're close.
Um,
I'm on number 4 at this point.
but this is where we can relax and be natural. And the world is embracing that more than ever before. They're embracing the reality of who you are, what you want to share. So in your lane, you're an expert.
Don't think
Stand
that
on that.
because you don't have a book or a TED Talk, right? You'll hear that a lot. There's a guy
Yeah.
that's marketing his TED, several people marketing their TED Talk training and having you feel if you watch those videos that you haven't really got anything to stand on if you haven't done a TED Talk. So therefore you shouldn't be seen. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So realize what is being fed to you with some of these people and what they're selling. And we're selling you on you because that's the most amazing thing that you have. That is the biggest, most wonderful, unique resource that you have is your life experience, your passion, and everything that you can bring. Whether it's a podcast or speaking from the stage or guesting on another podcast, there's
Mhm.
so much opportunity for you to be able to step out and be seen. Which brings us to number 3 for today. Which is that I would love to think about doing a podcast. I'll hear people say, "Oh, I think it would be so much fun. I would love to do it." But the technical stuff would put me in over my head.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, before we go any further. I know, me too. That's why I have that guy over there. But there's a lot of different ways that you can do. Let's just say we'll use podcast as an example. There's
Yeah.
a lot of ways that you can do a podcast. It can be super simple. I
Yeah.
have some friends that do podcasts by literally sitting up in their office, no backdrop, not even a green screen, nothing. They just make their background look nice and neat. They light
Yeah.
themselves well, get themselves a decent microphone, which doesn't cost a lot, and they go. They just start. And that's what I want to encourage. Just start and see how it feels. See how much you enjoy it. And if you need have a coach or have somebody come along and show you some of the ropes and keep you in those guide rails, keep you going straight into where you want to be. But do know it doesn't have to be big and fancy. I know you see Rich's show and it looks like network TV, which is great. I love that. You don't have to start off with
No.
that though.
No. And in fact, you never even have to get there if you don't want to. That's the great thing now.
Yeah.
This is your stage. This is your environment. Whatever makes you feel authentically you, the empowerment that comes out of you, it does not matter. Make it you and authentic. Beforehand, we were talking. Sandra was like, what should I have today for a jacket? So she grabbed a jean jacket. She's in Texas. Everyone has a jean jacket. That's her inside and out.
Yeah. And we ride our horses to the post office. We don't. We don't.
But this is where your authentic side can come into it. Now, the technical side can be overwhelming. I get it all the time. Which platform, which microphone, which lights?
Yes.
Slow down, slow down. Let's just take this one thing at a time and we will build up as you grow and expand. That's things about this
Yeah.
the invisibility thing that you're really drilling into. The women feel like they can't be seen, they can't be heard. There's so much noise out there, so many gadgets, they think they can't play catch up. We all
Yes.
started someplace. We all started with what we had, not with what we wanted to have, and we grew and we grew. So, ladies, please hear me. Either get someone to be your engineer. Do it simple, like Sandra said. I
Yeah.
know people that just put the iPhone or whatever phone on the table and they do an audio interview, and that's their podcast,
Yeah.
which is many people, many, many people.
Yeah.
Content over technology will always win because you are the brand.
Content over technology, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, that's so true. And of course, if what we talk about and what we teach people is even on a micro budget, there
Yes.
are things that you can do that make your quality of your video. You don't have to have a big fancy camera, you don't have to have a fancy microphone at all.
No.
A friend of mine actually recorded, and he's done this a couple of times now. He does voiceover work, like big time stuff for like GMC and Chevrolet and all those like big companies, right? And they hire him to do their commercials. So he was traveling one day and they called him to do a commercial and they needed it like right away. And Rich, you know what happens when people do this. You're like, "Oh, okay, you need it by the end of the day." So he literally took a little microphone that he had plugged into his iPhone, put it underneath the cushions in his hotel room and stuck
Yes.
his head in there. This is so funny to picture, like a little kid playing tent. But this is what he did. And it came out great. There are ways that you can actually take really simple equipment, and as long as you know how to work it and what you're actually going for, you don't need to spend a lot of money. It doesn't have to be hard. And you can actually make things look pretty good. And if you look good, let's be real, you're going to want to do more.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how that works. If you
Well,
don't like how you look, then you're going to be a little bit shy and you need a little help along the way. But lighting is your best friend.
Well, and the other thing, and again, working with Sandra, I get a lot of compliments about Sandra from people. They see us, and ladies, I hear a lot of praise for Sandra from you to her. Um, but one thing they often say is she's so fluid. She just flows. She has it all put together. And look, I live with a lifelong stutter. I still stutter to today. I began in radio and stuttering, so I know there's ways to get around the fear of the speech, the
Yeah.
fear of not having. Yes, I know what I want to say in my head, but I don't know how to get out of here to have it be understandable to you. Ladies, that's a process we all go through.
Yeah.
So there really isn't anybody stopping these people that we want to help through the masterclass sign. There isn't anybody stopping them. The biggest barrier is often you.
It is. Yeah. It's so we speak to mindset a lot in case you haven't noticed. Because that's the number one thing. As a coach, I tend to work from the inside out. So
Mhm.
the inside is where most of the obstacles are. They can literally feel like a solid wall that has got you shoved down. And it's time to put some holes in that wall, let that thing crumble down because there are reasons for you to speak up and to be seen. And you know what they are. You know what they are. Now, yes, we will be here for you whenever you're ready to actually formulate that message and even all the way up to distribution. I mean, that's what our upcoming class is actually for. It's if you want to think big and you want to think, hey, what could happen in the future? We do have a masterclass that's coming up in a couple of weeks. You can't register for it yet.
Not yet.
So we're not here to tell you that you can register for it. You can't. We're holding off on that. But what you can do in the meantime is get some more tips for how to look and feel great on camera. So
Mhm.
we have taken a previous masterclass that we did and we've given you a sneak peek. So that's what's on the screen right now. Rich put up a QR code. And if you can't, for some reason, can't scan the QR code, you can literally take my name, put .com, sandradrobinson.com, and it's right at the top. In fact, it'll even pop up. If you get confused, it'll pop up in a pop-up that you can just go right in and access. It's about a 18 minute piece of the training, and it's going to give you some really, really crucial elements, crucial things for you to no matter what type of equipment you're using,
Right?
to look and feel good. So we chose some really specific things in there that come up from the audience as well. I think we even have a question or two that came up from the audience,
Mhm.
and it's just Rich and I. We don't have anybody else on that video. We like to keep those master classes as very safe space, but you have all the tips and you have the good stuff, the little nuggets that are in there, and you get to see what we're like during one of these master classes. So experience it. It's free. Go grab this one for free, and you're a fly on the wall for one of our classes.
And the great thing is, no matter how much experience you have, whether you once were out there strong and bold, you want to get back out there strong and bold, whether it's never happened, but you've always wondered what if,
Yeah.
we want to encourage you to go for it. We want you to, we believe in you. We believe in your achievements, your experiences, and you have value to add to people. People need to hear it from you. And so age doesn't matter, experience doesn't matter. We're going to lean on and really talk about the heart, the tools we can help you with so that you can get out there and start doing. One of the
Yep.
best things, Sandra, is repetition.
Don't we know that? So we're gonna be back doing another one of these lives.
Yes.
Do we have the date yet? Is it next week?
It's going to be next week. Watch for the
Okay.
postings and
So
the
give us
emails.
make
Yes.
sure you're following us, and we'll be announcing it. So we're gonna do this again with some more tips.
Yes.
So, and in the meantime, you can access that class that we just had up here, or go to sandradrobinson.com, and you'll see our class pops up first thing that you see. So you can go in there and visit the class for free, see what it feels like, see the kind of things that we talk about, and we'll go from there. But I just hope we encourage some folks here today.
Well, I want to add one more thing before we land the plane. They're not excuses. Some people think these are my excuses and they feel the weight of having an excuse not to step out and go do something. They're valid. Those are your emotions. Those are your feelings. They're valid. We want to validate those and
Mhm.
help you break free from those. So please don't feel that this is a knock. This is this honesty from Sandra and Trigger to help you get to where you want to get.
I've broken enough of those walls myself. I get it. Yeah.
So come on back, join us next week. We're going to do this again as we prepare for that masterclass, but we're going to give you practical tips like this to help you get stronger and better as we preview the upcoming masterclass.
Yep. Go to sandradrobinson.com. Check out what it's like to go to one of our classes. Grab some of the nuggets that were in our previous class. So jot them down, try them out. Let us know how it works. You can reach either one of us here on LinkedIn, Facebook, you're on TikTok, much more than I am, Instagram. Find us on all social media and let us know what you think.
We look forward to seeing you. Until next week, I'm the Trigger, Rich Bontrager.